So start with the longest common subsequence. In this, first we understand the problem statement. First we understand the problem statement, then after that we understand the recursive code for the longest common subsequence base condition, and in the side of this recursion there is a base condition and the choice diagram, and what are the question code. So first of all, what is the question? We have given the two string. For example, x equal to a string x a b c d g h. A string y is given a b e d f h or r. I have to identify the longest common substring. What is the substring? There is a difference between the subsequence and the substring. What is substring and the subsequence? Subsequence is a sequence matter that are in which order are the character are coming, and continuity is not matter in the subsequence. But if in you talk about the substring, here the sequences matter and the continuity is also matter. So in substring subsequence we don't care about the continuity, we focus on the only the sequence. So if I talk about this is a, this is a, this is b, the same character in the b, this is d, this is dg, this is h. Then what is repeated? What are the character are they repeated? A b d h. Initially we got a largest subsequence. This is a subsequence. If I talk about the what are the other subsequence are, there is a possible that the ab is also a subsequence, there is a dh is also a subsequence, a single is also a subsequence, and b is also subsequence, and a b d is also a subsequence. But we have to select the maximum length of the subsequence. So which one is that? The a b d h. And what is its length equal to 4. So I have to return only the out at this time I have to return only the length of the largest common subsequence. That's why the output is the 4. So the printing the largest length of the largest common subsequence. Understand what are the problem statement and what they want to convey. And if I talk about in this question that the a b c d g h and a b e d f h, if I understand what are the length of the subsequence in the subsequence in this string, that a b d h, but if and its length is a 4. If I talk about the substring, then there is a maximum length of the substring is the ab. It's ab and its length is equal to 2. So this is a common substring. If I talk about the recursive code of the how to write the understand the what are the problem statement, that now we discuss the problem how to solve in the recursive code. In recursion there is a three things. One of the base condition, second is a choice diagram, and third one is a parameter. If I talk about the here parameter is that we have the two input string x and string y. Most of the time I call him s1 s2 or a or b, the string some kind of name are the pronunciation. What we do in the recursion, we largest function call for the its smaller function in recursion call. If I talk about the base condition is what? Base condition is like a minimum valid answer. If string s1 is given and is empty, and string s2 is given empty, what is the largest subcommon difference? Largest subcommon subsequence. There is nothing is a sequence in which there is no subsequence. That's why we return 0. So if n equal to n is the length of the s1 and m is the length of the m is the length of the m. If both of one have the length equal to 0, then I have to return only the 0. The two things has happened, that the base condition as we have discussed, and parameter things we have discussed. The x and y are the two inputs, and along with that we also take the inputs as n and m for the input. And if I talk about the one of the thing important thing is that the return type is also integer. Why we have to return the length of the integer in the recursion? What are the things? One is the recursion return type, then a function and inputs, base condition and choice diagram. These four things are the important. Return type, as we have discussed, we have to return the maximum length, that's why it make the integer. If I talk about the inputs, if they talk about the inputs, getting the two string, and with string we also get a length of the string. Base condition, as I have discussed, that the if n equal to 0 or m equal to 0, or condition between them, and we have to return the 0. Why? Because if suppose if there is nothing contained in any of the one, is no character is contained in any string, that in this case we have to return what is the maximum length of the subsequence is 0. And now we have to discuss with the choice diagram. If we talk about the subsequence, there, as we have done what did here, that the a b c d g h and a b e d f h. If leave the a, see here, there is a this is and this, there is only one character is common. If in what we do in the recursion, that we iterate from the largest to smaller, that's why I started with the here. So there is a h and there is a h. If they are common, then I call for this function and I will call for this function. That means I only call for the yellow part, only yellow part in the sense, that means a b c d g and a b e d f. Only I will call this yellow parts of the recursion part. But suppose there is no mismatching. For example, if I talk about here, there is not h only, there is a h, and inside, after the h there is a a. There no matching will happen. Then what will you do in this case? First of all, remove this here. There is nothing matching between them. So we do one thing, we remove this part of, in one case we removed this part. That means we have two options here, whether I consider the a b d c d g, remove the h, and here I consider a b e d f h a, and in second case what we what we do, a b c d g h, considering the a h, and a b e d f h, removing the last part. So what we do in this case, we consider the whole things, and here we consider the whole things, and we remove the last part here and here, there where we have the two options. So similarly like that, in choice diagram we talk about the last part of this. We have the blue and the black. If they are matches, then I will call for the smallest part, this only thing. If they are not matches, then we have the two options, that either I include the blue part and I will call for the smaller one, or either I include the black part or call for the either I include black completely, or either I include black completely or call for the and leave the blue part. There is a two option, and I have to return the maximum length. That's why I have did here the whatever the maximum between them, that I have to return here. So that's why this is the choice diagram. Understand what are the choice diagram, whether there is two options. One of the thing is that the this, and another is that choice diagram is we have the two options, that the whether I include it or exclude. If they are matches, blue or yellow are matches, then I will call for the remaining part of the string. This is one and this one. Suppose this is n and this is m, then I call for the n minus 1 and m minus 1. If they are not matching, then we have the two options. Either I will call the blue half part and remaining part of this, and there is another option that sorry, whether I call this or I include this. There is a two option. First of all, either this and from both of them option I have to return the max value. Understand the what are the choice diagram want to convey. So if I talk about here, if I talk about the coding perspective, I will n and m, then I will call for the n and m minus 1, and here I will call n minus 1 and m. This is understand the largest function is called for the smallest value of the its value. So this is a choice diagram. If according to this I will write the code of the recursive code of this. So as discussed that the return type of this is a integer type. Longest common subsequence, there is a four parameter, as I had discussed, that the string x, string y, integer n, for the length of the x and integer y, m. And then after this we have discussed about the base condition. What are the base condition? That the base condition, if n equal to 0 and m equal to 0, then I have to return 0. That this is the base condition, as we have discussed. Suppose any string doesn't contain the element, doesn't contain the substring, then in that case I have to return the 0. Or and in choice diagram, as we have discussed, that if the last character is matches to each other, then I have to return the I will call for the smallest one, n minus 1, and this is a one character is add on. That's why we add 1 here, plus longest common subsequence, and call for the n minus 1 and m minus 1. Else we have to return the maximum of the n and m minus 1, or maximum of the n minus 1 and m. These are the two things I have. And what are the problem statement? I have already told you that here that this is the question is given in GFG, and this what are the recursive code, as I discussed that that code is also here. We have the given find the longest common subsequence. They have the two string, and I will call the function of recursive function, that the string by passing string s1 and string s2, having the length of the having length and if the base condition is that n equal to 0 or m equal to 0, in this case I have to return 0. Otherwise I have to adding 1, that means one character is finding. I have found the length, that's why I added 1 plus function of the. But if I have to return the maximum value, then I will get the element from this. So 1 plus I will call for the function for the small value of the n minus 1 and the m minus 1. Similar thing is happen here, that if the no character is found, then I call n minus 1 and m and n and m minus 1, and return the maximum value or whatever are the possible what are the return from them, either including it or excluding the last element. Now from this way we get the maximum length of the substring after maximum length of common substring between string A or string B. This is things is happen. Then after that we discuss about the code of the memorization or the top down approach.